Harmon told him to drop the case.
Wow.
Drop it.
Just leave it alone, huh?
Yeah, and this university police, they eavesdropped on a conversation during which the mother confronted Sandusky about the incident.
Wow.
Now listen to this.
Yeah.
He admitted to showering with the boys and refused to discontinue it. They heard this.
Wow.
And still decided not to prosecute.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Like, how can all these people know about this? And no one seems to think, maybe I need to do something about it.
Somebody say something, man.
That's way too many people.
Supposedly 20 incidents were said to have taken place
20.
While Sandusky was employed by Penn State.
Wow.
At some of the places, locker rooms, golf resorts, of course, football buildings, and Sandusky's car at the high school with the boy. In Sandusky's basement, in which his wife knew about. Now, let's get into her. Supposedly,
yeah, I don't know too much about her side of things, so yeah, I'm listening.
She stated his innocence pretty much to the end.
Okay.
Now, from what I read was he used to bring a lot of the boys back to their home.
Okay.
And pretty much take them down to the basement where he would sexually assault them. While she would be in the house upstairs. Now, she did mention plenty of times she would hear noises. And she actually caught them in the act once.
Wow.
He told her they were wrestling.
Horse playing.
Wrestling.
There you
with
go.
tighty whities on. What grown-ass man wrestles a little boy with tighty whities on?
I'm going to say she was in denial.
The entire time?
That's the only thing I can think of. Like,
yeah,
I'm sure she was living the life, and, you know, I believe they were just wrestling. I'm not going to sacrifice my beautiful house and home and lifestyle for no little kid. You know, people, like, it was just a bunch of selfishness. That's the only thing I can think about. This was just a bunch of selfishness. People just put themselves and their own before anyone else. And he went on to 20 incidents, you said?
20.
And at least 8 victims. Didn't they have like 8 victims?
Yeah, 8 victims came up front.
Yeah. And who knows how many other underage kids just didn't say nothing. Or the underprivileged kids just didn't say nothing.
Yeah, and see, she came in fruition during the trial as well. Mm-hmm. One of the things that came up during the trial was an accuser and Sandusky's wife, Dottie, both testified about this Alamo Bowl incident. The accuser said Sandusky was attempting to negotiate oral sex with him in the bathroom while Sandusky's wife was at an apartment, and that she came to the edge of the bathroom for a few words with Sandusky, including, "What are you doing in there?" Mrs. Sandusky said while her husband was having a disagreement, including yelling with the boy in the bathroom, but clothed, about attending a luncheon. She went on to characterize the boy as very demanding, which you're going to hear in a minute during the soundbite, and he was very conniving. He wanted his way, and he didn't listen to a whole lot. Miss Sandusky testified when it was still uncertain whether her husband would testify, though. Sandusky's defense attorney, Joe Amendola, said he was blah, blah, blah. That's really unnecessary. I'm not reading the rest of this crap. So let me go ahead and play the soundbite from Miss Sandusky about pretty much proclaiming her innocence.
Lies.
Towards her sick-ass husband.
Lies.
Give me 1 second. Let's get into it.
Yes, it makes me angry. I mean, that people are not telling the truth. That's what makes me angry. And that an innocent man is in prison. It's sad. He's in his cell 23 hours a day, Monday through Friday. And then on weekends, it's 24 hours. It's hard. We talk about family things. We talk about the case. We talk about our friends. We talk about what he's doing in prison, or what has happened, And I try to cheer him up, but usually he cheers me up instead of me cheering him up. Matt is a very likable, very believable person. We've had many things that have gone on with Matt. He has stolen from our family. He's stolen from our kids. He stole from my mother-in-law. Matt went to court and fought to have the kids to be able to come over and see Jerry while he was under house arrest.
What happened, do you think?
I don't know whether someone talked to him, whether he saw money, whether you would have to ask Matt. I don't know. I don't know. All the other kids do not believe him. He always liked a better deal. He always liked to be, better. And he did have some financial problems.
So as we was talking about earlier, Jay, with how it's hard to, I guess, fathom that something like this would actually be occurring with someone not to mention someone within your own house.
Yeah.
What do you think was going through her mind, maybe?
I mean, Jerry Sandusky, he may be just a really, really good liar. And he's able to manipulate the people around him. Because to this day, he still says he's innocent, correct?
Yes, he does.
And if you keep saying it and you sound pretty convincing, I mean, your closest people to you are going to normally tend to stick, by your side. And I think that may be the case here. It's like he's just denying it. Like, you're going to have to catch me on tape is pretty much what he's saying. I didn't do nothing. But the facts that they're showing, it's just like they're denying that as well. It's just, he's just must be really, really convincing. And with her thing, with that guy, I mean, it may have been something where Jerry was in it with the wrong kid or whatever. He had that relationship going on with that one guy. You said from 12 to the high school, they're going to Penn, leaving, telling each other they love each other. And Jerry may have done something where the kid was like, I'm going to the police now.
Now, at trial, did she not hear that voicemail?
Yeah.
How was I able to hear it and she wasn't able to hear it?
Exactly. They may have had something going on. The kid was like, hey, I need some money for something. Well, he's not a kid anymore. He's grown now. But he's like, I need some money for something. And Jerry's like, no. Boom. But those other kids that he did take advantage of and was raping and things like that. But it's just a big jumbled mess. And Jerry is probably, like he said, probably really, really conniving and convincing with his family members. And they're also in denial as well.
Now, we didn't talk about Joe Paterno too much, and Lord, God rest his soul. What type of role do you think he plays?
Because he just didn't want to hear nothing.
Like, he was the most powerful person at Penn State University and could have shut this down a long time ago.
He didn't want to hear it. His thing was, if I don't know, I can't do nothing. So when somebody came to him, he's like, I gotta get on a jet. I'll talk to you whenever. And that's the last you heard about it. So he tried to stay as far away from it. He kind of knew, but I don't think he knew the in-depth, details because he didn't want to. Yeah. And that's just as worse, If you kind of know something's going on, but you're not really that, I won't ask him straight up, or I don't want to hear no more details about it. I mean, you're just as guilty, there. Because, I mean, this could ruin his career as well. And again, people were selfish. A lot of people were selfish with this case.
Man, it just makes me sick to think about this. And I was, God, I was hoping that school got the death penalty.
They should have.
But to me, I think the death penalty is only a maximum for 1 year. It pretty much shuts down the entire athletic department.
But then the kids, they ain't had no seniors.
I don't care.
They ain't had nothing to do with that.
I don't care.
The seniors, you've been playing football. Hey. This your life, just done. This is done. For something you ain't got nothing to do with.
The seniors should have eligibility to transfer to another school to play out their senior year.
Okay.
That's what they should have did to those seniors. And it should have been when they were able to transfer, they shouldn't have to sit out a year. They should be able to play immediately.
I get you.
But that university shouldn't be playing for years. That was the sickest cover-up I've ever seen. Joe Paterno.
I'll give you that.
To me, Joe Paterno had as much power as my man from Colombia. What's the Colombian drug lord?
Escobar?
Pablo Escobar.
Okay.
He was freaking Pablo Escobar of Penn State University. He could do anything he wanted to, man.
But it would have made him look so terrible.
He should have said something.
But it would have made him look bad, and he was not. He just didn't want to know.
But
he didn't want to know.
Or he could have looked like a hero for saving lives. Because for him not to speak up and say anything, he allowed this chaos to continue for years. Mm-hmm. And this man, Jerry Sandusky, was running amok through these little kids doing his Second Mile Foundation.
And I mean, he like you said, he definitely could have shut it down. He should have shut it down, and he should have.
He mentioned that before he died. He said one of his biggest regrets was not saying anything.
But
shit, it's too late now, Joe.
Exactly. Yeah, but again, no matter how you slice it, he was gonna look terrible. Even if he came out and whatever, like how you didn't know he was doing all this and all, because like you said, when the assistant coach caught him, that was after he retired, right? That was like in.
No, Joe Pa.
That's Sandusky. He was retired.
He
was long gone, and so he's got a 39-year trail of sexual assault, and like he just didn't want to know. And I'm pretty sure Joe probably knew before that guy, the assistant coach.
He absolutely knew.
And then that would come out as well. So that's why they were like, "Oh, coach didn't say nothing." Everybody was watching their own ass, pretty much. Covering their own ass.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And that's what it boiled to be. And football is life. In Pennsylvania, at Penn State, football is life. You see it at Baylor. You can rape women at Baylor and they don't care. They'll turn a blind eye because football is life. And like I was saying, unfortunately, I can see a lot of schools doing what Penn State did. Because at the end of the day, you're going to look bad. You're going to look bad. And that's the number one thing. Schools don't want to look bad.
Yeah.
So you just try to cover it up and keep covering it up and covering it up until you got a mountain hill on the top of your university and you come crumbling down like Penn State and Baylor, did. But again, if a school comes out, they're gonna if a school came out and did the right thing, do you think they would be praised, or you think they would be like, this is the worst school of all time?
Oh, they're gonna get ridiculed.
Exactly.
But sometimes you got to do what's right.
You're right. You're definitely right about that.
I know football is bigger than God, especially in the state of Texas.
Yeah.
Obviously,
don't make it right
in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But I mean, Jesus Christ, you cannot let this monster
39 years of terror,
like ruining kids' lives. Just like the quote, I read earlier, most of these kids it messes them up so mentally they might go around sexually harassing other little kids. Now you created 39 different predators.
Like I was saying with the guy, who was harassing until he was 12, all the way up to an adulthood. He just ruined it. He got to a point where the guy thought it was okay to have sex with Jerry Sandusky and kind of sort of sound like being in a relationship with this man and telling him that he loves him and things like that. He ruined that 12-year-old kid to have him almost think, like you said, it's okay.
Just sick, man.
Very much so.
Situations like this with this university in a Baylor, even with North Carolina, even though the severity is nowhere near the same. Don't quote me on that. But still, they cheated, and it was covered up. The Peyton Manning situation in Tennessee.
I can't believe you just admitted to that.
Oh, God. It was a cover-up.
Okay.
I mean,
good
you know.